With all the talk going on around conference realignment right now, I harken back to the 96, 97, 98 time when the Southwest Conference had just broken up, and then the Horned Frogs landed in the Western Athletic Conference, the WAC, the 16-team WAC, which you think back on it was ahead of its time, was it not, as we see these super leagues forming. Then overnight, you had 8 teams leave that league, and the Frogs were left stranded again in an 8-team WAC where you didn't have a lot in common with the teams that remained. Yet the Frogs kept persevering, kept shopping themselves, kept selling themselves, and had to prove that they were, we use this phrase, dateable again. They did that, and Conference USA arrived. Mike Slive was the commissioner, later became the commissioner of the SEC. The Frogs had partnered with ESPN, who helped sort of clear the path for the Horned Frogs into Conference USA. And remember that league back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Conference USA was a league with Cincinnati and Louisville and Marquette on the basketball side, and a football league that was strong and vital and was important. Southern Miss was really good, if you remember at the time. South Florida was in the league. The Horned Frogs were a part of that, and it helped them. It helped propel them into the Mountain West when that came calling. An opportunity to be with like-minded universities, to be with the universities of the University of Utah, the University of Wyoming, of New Mexico. These were big state schools that also had an important stake in college athletics. They wanted to be important in college athletics. And it was a great time for TCU, especially to have success with BYU and Utah and Boise in that league. Colorado State, when the Frogs first got in. Quality conference, and be able to grow this program to the point where when the Big 12 needed another team, they came to TCU. To go back home, if you will, from full circle, from the days of the Southwest Conference that led through the mid-90s, all the way back now to the Big 12, with the teams that you were with, well, think about it, 30 years ago, and now back with them again home. Most important thing now for TCU, hold this Big 12 together. Hold it with your brothers and add to it at the top with even better programs, and let that future continue to rise for the Horned Frogs. But let's not forget the journey, folks. 16-team WAC, 8-team WAC, Conference USA, the Mountain West Conference, the Big East for a cup of coffee, and now, of course, the Big 12. The conference ride has been fun for the Horned Frogs.